One important part of scientific notation that we did not discuss in the first video that is very important through your use throughout the course is using scientific notation in your calculator. Your calculator handles scientific notation a little differently than we do because it's a computer, and a computer is going to read the data that's on the screen and not necessarily know what we mean by that data unless we're very specific about the way we type it in. When you're doing scientific notation in your calculator, there are two methods that work. There is the times 10 caret method. This method, you type the number 3.5 times button 10 caret button the exponent. Problem is your calculator interprets that as a number times 10 to a power. It's two separate entities, not as one complete number in scientific notation. You can do it this way if you are very, very careful with putting parentheses around each scientific notation number. There's a much easier method, though, that works with your TI calculators. That is using E. E is found on your calculator by doing second comma. You press second, the comma button, and it gives you an uppercase letter E. That stands in the place of the times 10 caret. And then your calculator knows, without question, that you're dealing with scientific notation and will always calculate it correctly. So if you get in the habit of using this method, you will never see any mistakes. To show you this, let me show you a couple of examples. So the first problem we're going to do here is 3.5 times 10 to the 5th, divided by 3.75 times 10 to the 8th. Now let me pull up a calculator here for just a second. Okay, so our calculator is up. Most of you are used to typing in 3.5 times 1010 caret 5. If you hit enter, it actually shows you the full number, 350,000. So if you were going to type this in that way, and you don't pay close attention to parentheses, 3.5 times 10 caret 5 divided by 3.75 times 10 caret 8. Hit enter and you get 9.3 times 10 to the 12th. So we're taking 350,000 dividing by 375 million and getting a number times 10 to the 12th. Well, what your calculator actually did there is it did 3.5 divided by 3.75, multiplied the whole thing by 10 to the 5th, multiplied the whole thing by 10 to the 8th, and you end up with 10 to the 12th, which is not correct. To do this correctly, you must use parentheses. So I'll do 3.5 times 10 caret 5, close parentheses, then divided by, open parentheses, 3.75 times 10 caret 8. Now if I do this, I get 9.33 times 10 to the negative 4th. And 9.33 times 10 to the negative 4th is our correct answer. Now the E method actually works a whole lot better. So if I do that, you'll see it's a little bit easier to work with. 3.5 second comma, which gives us an E, 5, divided by 3.75 second comma 8. Once again, I get 9.33 E negative 4. Your calculator will express these in scientific notation using E. Calculators and computers will generally use E. When you're dealing with written numbers and you write something on a quiz test on a piece of paper, you would always write times 10. So E is what we use with calculators and computers. If we look at this last problem, try this last problem on your own and then we'll go over it together. Now, let's go over this problem. I would type it in the calculator this way. 7.62 second comma 2 plus 1.00 second comma 6 close parentheses, divided by, open parentheses, 8.0 second, comma, 3 minus 6.11 second, comma, 4, close parentheses. The answer, we have our answer, negative 18.85. It should be our correct answer for this problem. Hopefully this little tutorial will help you with better using your calculator when it comes to scientific notation. That E button is really your friend when it comes to scientific notation, and make sure it's always done correctly.